All right, we have got a lot of fun things to talk about today. There's been a good amount of movement in the cryptocurrency world, and then also in the overall stock market, and then obviously the miners and ETFs in the stock market as well. So we're just kind of go over a couple of things that I've been seeing this week. I've purchased and sold a lot of positions, so just going to review that with you guys. Try to keep this short and sweet. Just give you a little bit of a update here. Overall broad market S&P back very close to all-time highs, which is phenomenal to see. Like we've talked about in the last couple of videos, it's going to continue to push up. It's just a great time to buy when you have new all-time highs. It's always a great time to buy. And then same thing with Bitcoin that we talked about as well. Let me come back out of here. Maybe not a year view. Bitcoin has continued to trend up as well. I think I was talking about it over here when it broke this pocket around 47,000, I think is where I was telling everybody to purchase some Bitcoin as well. So we've been watching Bitcoin very closely. I've had some stops, not stops, sorry. I've had some alerts at these levels here because just like how it popped here, it came down and checked these volume levels before it ran back up. So this was a good buying opportunity. So same thing here. I wasn't expecting it to come all the way back down to 50,000. It could potentially get there, but today I had some alerts set at 51.8, actually, excuse me, 51.9 and then 51.7. So once it, because I was just looking at right here, I think, yeah, 51.7 was the bottom of this range, and then 51.9 was just kind of the top of the range here. And I did purchase some more Bitcoin because I still am a big believer in it. I think it's going to continue upwards as it moves down into this volume range. If it does move down in this volume range, that's where I'll be a very heavy buyer. If we can get it under 50,000, that'd be fantastic, because still a big believer in seeing this get up to a six-figure mark in the $100,000 range. So that's what we're looking at. Here's just a 1 minute chart here, but I have this always up on my screen. It looks like what I'm expecting it to do is see how it's got like a little downward trend. I think we're gonna hit some more of these resistant levels here, and then either test these lows down here at 51,400, or right where it bottomed out here. Yeah, 51,400, 396, pretty much 400. If it breaks those levels, it's definitely going to come test the 50,000 mark again. So just keep an eye out for that. So I have this SoFi article up that we're going to talk about as well. So that's a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and I'll show you some of the miners. Marathon is a miner that I've owned for a bit now. I bought in around 20. Actually, I bought in this volume pack, so I ran it down. I bought around 24, ran it down to 17, added more up in this range as it started to move. So up on that, we have Myra, we have BTF, Bitfarms, so that's moving back up again. Bought in this range, we're back up on that. And we have some TNA as well. We bought that around, actually, we think we bought that around 40. So hopefully that's going to move back upwards. And something new that we just purchased was Coinbase. Obviously, that's where I make all of my cryptocurrency trades, because I don't really do any of the altcoins or quote unquote shit coins. I mostly stick to Ethereum and Bitcoin. I used to dabble in some of that other stuff, but it never seemed to work out for me. Really had to time it right. And then I'd know there was a big liquidity issue when things started flying. So I just rather be in the broader market in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is something that's moved quite nicely. Even again today had a nice pop. So let's actually start there. So on the 14th, that was yesterday, I bought coin at 158.71, 158.71. Yeah, so right down here in this level on Wednesday. So we're already seeing a nice pop here. I'm anticipating this breaking here and continuing going up if Bitcoin and everything continues to run up like expected. After it breaks this volume pack level here, we're going to test this volume level. So we'll be up in the 200s, 250s very soon if it pushes up throughout here. And again, I see it just continuing to trend up as Bitcoin and all of the cryptocurrency market moves upward as well. So keep an eye on Coinbase. They are kind of the leader when it comes to transacting cryptocurrency. So I bought a nice portion size in there, like I said, at 158.71. So keep an eye on that. The other stock that I just bought a lot of that I've already owned quite a bit of, but is SoFi. So you guys know that they have SoFi Stadium. It's a great company. I truly believe in them. We'll bring up the simple moving average because it looks like a daunting stock, but if you actually take a good look at it, it's starting to break above. It's not starting to break above, but it's been staying above the 200-day here. So that's exactly what we want to see. It's been below, and then it's been consistently staying above. It's checked it a couple times, but as you zoom in a little bit more, it's staying right on it and continuing to move up. So I bought SoFi. I bought that on the news on, does it say 223? Yeah, I think my purchase was on 223. That can't be right. It's got to be 213. Yeah, 213 on the 13th. Sorry, my notes were wrong here. On the 13th, I purchased it at 792. So again, down here, 792. It's almost up a buck since I purchased it. And that was on this news here. Literally, news came out right at that 792 level, and it was down here dipping. And the news was SoFi named official banking partner with the NBA. And then I think there was another, yeah, Jason Tatum established a 1 million SoFi fund, yeah, wealth fund to, yeah, whatever. So this was just good news. I saw this pop up on Twitter. So I immediately I bought 1,000 shares. We'll just be very candid. So I like that. I like SoFi quite a bit. So that's the SoFi play. That's coin. Um, let's see what else. Okay, yeah, let's move down. Let's move down the list because I did a lot of I don't want to call it spring cleaning because obviously we're in February, but I cleaned up a lot of my accounts for things that I've had for quite a bit. So the first one that I want to talk about is XLF. So this is the ETF of the financial sector essentially. And so they've been doing fairly well since they've been raising rates because obviously banks do better when rates are higher. And so I just want to clean this one up because as they're talking about cutting rates and rates going down, I can just see this banking sector start to go down. And yeah, it might continue to move up, but I just want to protect myself. I had a 40% gain on it, so I bought it back in 2018 at 27.9. Yeah, 27.90, right around this area. And so I just sold it today at 39.22. I put all these orders in really early because I had a meeting early in the morning. So all my orders were right at 9:30 when the market opened. But still from 27.90 to 39.22, that's a 40% gain. So I mean that's over, geez, that's over 4 years. But I just don't want to have exposure to the banking and the rate sector right now. It's just not something I'd rather, and I'll show you what I reinvest a lot of these sell orders into. So that's XLF. The other one is Upstart. Honestly, I don't know much about this company at all. I bought this during the I didn't buy this during the hype. I'm looking at my notes over here. No, I didn't buy it during, I bought it during this hype. So I bought it at, so this was something, it just flew again. I'm not going to really dive into it because I don't really know the stock. It was more just like a Twitter hot news type of thing. And I just jumped on it. Very stupid move. Wasn't very smart at all. But I bought it at, looks like I bought it 7/17/23 at 52.57. So 7/17. Yeah, right. 57. Geez, it's almost at the peak. So I saw it moving. That's probably why it was hitting Twitter. People thought it was going to move back up back up to these levels, and it had a nice little move here. So let's just bring this back out again, which is it does show a pretty good indication here that it was going to move up, but then it came right back down, tested, and then the reason that I sold. So if you look at this, it broke the 200-day again. So I just said, screw it. I don't want to see this thing continue to drop. I think it looks like I did take a 40% loss. So I bought it at 52 and I sold it this morning at 26.92. So I mean, 48%, I think it is. Yeah, 48. So again, sold it right here in the morning. That was Upstart. Cleaned that out of my account as well. So taking some losses. And again, you guys can take losses up to, not that it's it's not that much, but you can take losses up to $3,000 for tax purposes, and you can deduct that from your gross income. Again, that's, at least for someone like me, that's very minute. But when I have losses and I want to clean up accounts, this is kind of how I approach that. The next one is DocuSign. So this was a stock that absolutely was killing it during COVID. Obviously, because everybody was online, everything was getting signed online. Nobody was doing in-person signatures, so DocuSign was doing phenomenal. Again, it barely broke above the 200. It's been below the 200 for the last couple years, and it didn't stay above it. So there's not confirmation here. It's not continuing to move upward. It's coming back down to test it again. And granted, it might bounce off this and continue to go, but it was just, again, it was just a COVID stock that I don't really want to have exposure to anymore. There's much better quality options out there than owning Docu. So Docu I bought in 2020 at 51.7, 51.7. So right around this area. And then, oh, just kidding, just kidding. It's 51.7 right now. I bought at 87.75. So this is the tough part. This is my stupid ass right here. So bought in this area, ran up to 200. Again, this was like PayPal and Square that you guys saw in my other videos. Never sold, and I've been holding all the way down to here. And it's just, I've hated seeing it in my account. So again, that was another 41% loss. I'm going to get to some of the winners that we sold out of to that mitigate a lot of these losses. But that was another one. The other one was Box. So that's Dropbox. This one just doesn't, it looks like Coca-Cola. Let me show you Coca-Cola. See how this just like, it's just very choppy and there's not a lot of swing movements at all. I mean, that generally means it's a good stock. See, Coca-Cola is the same type of thing. I own Coca-Cola as well, but um, I just, again, it's staying under the 200-day. It's not moving enough. Even if you bought in 2020 at 17 on the low here, $17, and you got it up to 30, like it took you 4 years to double your money. It just wasn't worth it for me. So I bought Box back in 2018 at 26.50. So pretty much where goodness, I'm mentioning the wrong numbers because I have them backwards on my notes here. Just kidding. So I bought it at 2081. Yeah, so back up in here. And so I did this one, I did make a 27% gain. So I did sell it this morning at 26.53. Again, just not something I want to have exposure to. It looks good. Honestly, the stock does look good. I just don't want to have exposure to this again. I'm trying to condense or consolidate my accounts so I can put a lot of my funds into more cryptocurrency and more technology-based stocks. And again, I don't think DocuSign and Dropbox isn't technology-based stocks, but I'm just looking for something with a little bit more movement that gives me a little bit better return on my investment. So just not haven't been too pleased with any of those. Here comes a big winner here. We really like Nvidia. So this one is one of my favorite stocks outside of Tesla, and my best performing stock outside of Tesla. Tesla and Nvidia are my two best performing stocks. So I've been buying Nvidia since 2021 and all the way through 2022. So I think my cost basis on Nvidia is 170. Yeah, my notes here says 175. So my cost basis is right in this area. And all I did was shave some of my position off. So I have a very decent large position in Nvidia. And if you guys don't know what Nvidia is, it's a chip making company. They really focus on AI, and it's like the chips that are inside of cell phones and things like that, and cars. And so they're not going anywhere. And obviously, as you can see, and I think there is another article that Nancy Pelosi was buying Nvidia. She was buying options and things like that. She's made like millions, her and her husband. So I think her husband got shit on in this area. He like had to sell his options or something like that. But just another phenomenal stock. And the reason why I shaved some of my position is it's called parabolic. It's going straight up. Let me go back to that 5 year because you can really tell. Just it looks straight up. It looks absolutely ridiculous. It looks like a lot of the COVID stocks that just went straight up. And granted, it can continue to go up to 800, 900, 1,000, whatever. I do believe that there should be a little bit of a pullback. So I do have alerts at 700, 650, 600 that I'll just keep watching. I'll bring in some shorter term simple moving averages like a 20-day or even the 10-day to see if it starts breaking down. I'll use some Fibonacci retracements to see if it starts breaking down. But as of now, I have what I was able to sell it for. Obviously, I bought it at 175. That's at least the cost basis across all the shares, and I sold it at 739 this morning. So I kind of sold it at the top because again, I sold everything at 9:30 this morning because I had a meeting. So I had my buy and sell orders already in place. So 739, no shit. It's 100% 739. So this is the highest it's ever been. And I'm pretty happy that I sold there. So I just sold a handful of shares, but it was like a 322% gain from 175 to 739. So pretty happy with that. I've recouped my initial investment. So now it's pretty much just all riding for free. And I will add to this position again once it comes back down. I just want to see the movement here. And again, if it continues upward, fine. I'm fine with all the shares that I have left continuing to go up. But that's just a very, very good looking chart, and they're a great company as well. Last one here that we sold out on is Starbucks. So we talked about this a few days ago as well. Let me bring this into a shorter term view. Let me get this moving average off. So bought Starbucks. Is that when we bought it? Was January 10th is what it's saying on my notes here. Because I took notes before doing this. Let's see if I can get it into a 60-minute and 20-day. Yeah, I can't get January 10th on here. January 10th is right here. So looks like I purchased it at $93. Yeah, so right around here. And then I sold out this morning at 94.25. So a 1% gain, but it was all based on their earnings. And again, if we pull this out, they had decent earnings, but if we bring up the 200-day, this is my concern with a lot of these stocks is it's pulled above, it's tested again, it broke it down, it tried to pull above again, and it's broke down again. And then look at this shorter term, like that was during earnings. This pop earnings was right here at this pop, and then it tried to ride back up, it touched the 200-day, and it's just dropping back down. So for me, there's not enough. I'll start using the word confirmation bias because that's what we're looking for here is when they break down, see how it kind of bounced off the 200-day, then it continued to move upward, and then it tested, and then it kept breaking down. So that's what I'm looking for with these 200-day moving averages is I really want to see the confirmation of if they're breaking or they're staying there. So see if we can show you guys. So even this right here was bouncing up and down, and then it finally broke, and then it just crapped the bed. So I just don't like Starbucks right now. If it moves back up to here and it continues up above $100 and it moves back up into this range, I will definitely be a buyer. I think Starbucks is a fantastic company, but at least where it is now, I'm not going to hold and have it go down to 75. So I'm just being much more intentional with all of my portfolios and just making sure I'm basing off of standing moving averages and volume packs. So that's that one. Okay, so liquidated a bunch of stuff, right, guys? So I had a nice chunk of money to reposition in the market. So what I ended up buying was I actually bought more Coinbase. I bought that to later today. Get rid of this. So once it all sold, I sold everything pretty much at 9:30. Let me remove extended hours. And then, yeah, so it continued to move back down. So I bought coin, I think it was around, yeah, like this afternoon time. I don't have that on my notes here, but I bought more. So I bought it at 158 back on the 14th yesterday before this big pop here. So I bought it at 140, no, 158, sorry. 158 right around this level. And then so I've already made a little bit, and it's the percentages just go up. I'm just holding because I think Coinbase is again going to continue up with the cryptocurrency market. But yeah, I bought more around 12 o'clock here because I mean this is a good looking chart. Let's go to the 14-day. Yeah, it stayed above here. It just barely touched those highs. Let me bring that back down. So see this right here, it didn't even touch it. It dropped here and then it pulled back up. So in my opinion, this is a strong chart. Let's see if we can look at this a little bit more. Let's go back to 1 minute, 14-day. Yeah, you can't see it there. 15. See, I wish I could get it. That's why TradingView, I should be using TradingView for this. 90. Let's go to 50. So you just can't see, but it's testing. See, it's above these last levels in January, so that's positive. So I think that's going to keep going. So I bought more. I bought more Coinbase, and then I bought more. Excuse me. I bought more Tesla as well. This is a great buy. I bought Tesla. Let's see on my notes here. So I bought Tesla today at 193.15. 193, yeah, right. Yeah, I really caught the little dip here. So it went up. I bought right around down here and then it continued to push up. So it's up $7 since I purchased it, and I made a very, very nice position size in this. So funny fact about Tesla is I actually have been buying Tesla since 2018 and 2019. So my cost basis on Tesla, because I've bought up through this area too. So I've two different accounts that own Tesla. One of my accounts, the cost basis is around like $100 or something like that. But the account that I have a very, very large position size, I have a $45 cost basis. So that's around right here. So I've tripled, quadrupled my money, I guess you can say. And so all through this, they've done stock splits and everything. So I've gotten more and more shares. So Tesla is just a great stock. Let me show you guys the moving average. This is just more of a bias type stock for me, because everything that I just said in this video, this would disagree with it, because obviously it's below the 200-day. It didn't stay above it. It broke back down. So it's going to be very interesting here to see if it can, it looks like it's going to make an attempt at the 200-day. And if it can get back above it, this is a lot of good days above the 200. So if we can continue to see it stay above the 200, I'll continue to add to my position, because I think Tesla's just a fantastic stock. Elon's a genius. You guys have heard me say that before, but they hit this volume pack here. It clearly stopped. There's a little volume pack here. It touched back here in 2020. So we'll see what happens. I'll do a video just on Tesla alone. But yeah, I all those sells I repositioned into pretty much Coinbase and Tesla. And then I don't want to say I repositioned back into Bitcoin at all, because that's E-Trade and this is separate than Coinbase. But I did make quite a few buy orders in Bitcoin as it's moved down. And so we're looking at it here. I'm gonna get a little bit tighter. And so it's making its way back up. So we'll see what happens. And actually, my triggers are getting hit as we talk right now, because 51,900 is where my alerts are set. So it's moving around that level. I'd really like to see it bounce back down. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I bought it down here, but I'd like to see it bounce back down. I'd love to add some more down at that 51, what was it, 51,400 level. And honestly, I'd love to add more under 50,000, because this is I'm not going to say guarantee, but look at this, guys. Like it's broke past all this volume. Now all it has to do is move past this area and this area, which is not, that's not volume dense, is how we look at it. Where the volume density was in these ranges. See how there's just a lot of volume through here. There's a big chunk here, big chunk here, big chunk here. So that range was anywhere from here to here. And then so if you're looking at it over here, look, so that broke that level, and that's why it checked up there. And if you look at this level here, that's why it was bouncing off of these, and then it finally took off. So it's just telling us that it wants to move higher. And as the halving gets close, the Bitcoin halving gets closer. This is just it. So essentially, it's going to take double the time to mine one Bitcoin. That's what the halving is. So what does that mean, guys? Supply and demand, right? So you're going to have more demand. You're going to have the same amount of demand, but you're going to have less supply. What does that do? That pushes prices up. So that's the same thing that we're dealing with the housing market right now. There's so much demand for single family homes, and there's not enough supply, and that's why the housing prices are staying up. Yes, interest rates went up a little bit and brought the house prices down, which was great for a little bit, because they wanted people that were selling their homes, they wanted to sell their homes. And the only way to do that with higher interest rates were to bring bring the purchase price down. But now we're seeing rates kind of leveled out here at this 5 to 6%, which is fantastic. I think that's going to be a more normal range for us, and they'll come down probably a little bit more throughout the year, but don't expect any sub fours. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, because yeah, you have interest rates go down, so then the prices of the homes are going to go back up as well. So just basic supply and demand, basic economics, guys. So that is pretty much all I have for today. But yeah, we are at some historic levels right now. Just drop my water cap. We are at some historic levels right now, guys. I would just get invested. I can't say enough about that. Is get invested. And this is where I was talking about being parabolic again. Let me just show that on this. You need to see it on like a 10-year. So see, from once COVID happened, they infused a bunch of money printing and a bunch of quantitative easing, sending out money. And so like I wish I would have sold here. I didn't sell anything. I thought we were going to keep going to the moon, but this is exactly where they said, hey, we're going to stop printing money. We're going to start doing quantitative tightening. We're going to start raising rates. And that's what happened. The market responded to it. Now we're still having the same labor market, same unemployment. Inflation's kind of toned down a little bit, and then there's talks of interest rates going down, and people are still seemingly, from the data, are not having any tougher time than they did before with the interest rate rise. So that's what everybody's worried about here, and we're starting to make our way back up. And again, back to my other videos, I think there's something to say about the election coming up and how they're going to try to make the market look good, make everybody think that everything's fine and dandy. So whoever is in the president seat makes it look like they did a fantastic job this last year. And again, I've talked about this in my last videos. I mean, from 2020 when Biden took office, we are up, right? So we have gone up. So even if this does continue to go up, I would have still said he did a fine job relating to the stock market. I'm not going to get political. I have a lot of different opinions on both sides, but relating to the stock market, it was up. So but you can't really say anything negative about that because it's always up, right? I mean, there's your 20-year. Let's go to a monthly. Let's get a 25-year. Like that's generally what happens. At least from 2008, we've gone straight up, and then you got your .com and your housing crash right there. So we'll see what happens, guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep making these videos as much as I can. As I buy and sell, I will keep you guys updated as well. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I will talk to you very soon. See ya.